Oh my gosh, how exciting is this? Okay. Welcome in, everyone. So welcome to our inaugural Bonnets and Bottles. I hope you've got your bottle, I hope you've got your bonnet, and I hope you've got your satin pillowcase, baby, because we're going to get comfortable, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to chat, we're going to share some opinions. If this is your first time in my live, hi, I'm Chioma. I'm one of the owners of CC's Closet NYC. And we're just looking for ways to have some more fun while we're on live. And so we decided to come out with this fun little series called Bonnets and Bottles.
Hello.
And China's going to be in the back having fun with us as well. And she's going to be helping me with comments. And of course, she's going to be sharing her opinions. So grab your bottle if you don't have your bottle already. Hi, Champagne Baba. How you doing, darling? Grab your bottle if you don't already have your bottle. And let's get into it. Okay. So first things first. During this live, you guys will be able to use the code BB20, that is B as in boy, 20, for 20% off our website, and you'll be able to grab your bonnet and your satin pillowcase for the next Bonnet and Bottle so that you'll be prepared. But I want you guys to get cozy, get comfy. We're going to be going to Reddit, reading some different Am I the Asshole articles, which I'm super excited about because I actually love these videos. So I've been doing this for a while. I've been sharing my opinions for a while in the comments. And I was like, you know what? Let's share them live. Let's get to talking. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat. I'm always happy to answer questions. But I also want to hear y'all's opinions. I want to hear y'all's opinions, and I want to hear what y'all think about these different situations because I've got a couple of different interesting ones, and we're gonna start with one that's near and dear to my heart. Because this one is about Bridgerton. And if you guys have followed CC's, y'all know that we made a Bridgerton collection. Y'all know that we love us. I love me some Bridgerton. Michelle hasn't really watched it that much, but I love me some Bridgerton. I watched the whole season the night it comes out. So this one's an interesting one. So this one says, am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law to shut it about Bridgerton because I hate it? My answer is yes, but let's see what the story is. I, 25 female, went wedding dress shopping a few days ago. It was a shit show. Ooh, wedding dress. Weddings plus Bridgerton, the drama. My fiance is from a religious family, and it was important to him to get married at his family's church. It's not something I've always wanted for myself, but his family is helping pay for the ceremony, and this means a lot to him. Okay. Ooh. The problem is that his mom insists that I get a modest wedding dress. Yeah, it's a church. I tried a bunch of dresses that were modest, and I hated them. I don't like puffy sleeves. It doesn't have to be puffy sleeves. I hate looking covered up. Okay, girl. I look like Princess Leia if she were from Alabama, not Alderaan, and this is not what I wanted. Okay, girl. Let me read the rest of this. It was my mom, my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, and my maid of honor at the bridal shop. They were trying to cheer me up, but I wasn't having it. My sister-in-law, Peggy, was the worst. She loves shows like Bridgerton. Anyone who knows me knows I can't stand that show. Girl, why do you have such strong feelings about Bridgerton? Anyways, knows I can't stand that show. She kept hyping up how my dresses made me look like someone from the show. After 4 or 5 dresses, I was fed up and I wanted to call it quits, but she wanted me to try on one more. I snapped at her and I told her to shut up about Bridgerton. I don't want to hear about that show again for the rest of the day. When we ended up leaving after this, Peggy was upset, and she and her mom just left. My mom is pissed at me and said that what I did was not acceptable. Yeah. I'm just frustrated because it feels like everyone is hijacking this whole wedding process, and I don't even have any say about what I want. It's like the wedding is more about Peggy and my mother-in-law, about what my Peggy and my mother-in-law want. Okay. I think that her sister-in-law was just trying to make her feel better. So I don't think she should have been so mean to her. She probably didn't know that Bridgerton was such a touchy subject for this girl, because Bridgerton is an extremely popular show. It's an extremely popular show. So for her to feel that strongly negatively about it, it seems like it's pretty much it's a her thing. So I don't think Peggy was wrong for trying to make her feel better by saying that she looked like she was from Bridgerton. But I do think that if she feels like her wedding isn't hers anymore, that really, really sucks. And if she's not willing to make that sacrifice for this guy's family who is religious, because I'm sorry, you should not be showing up with your whole body out at the church. Like, I just think that's weird. I don't know why you want to do that. I think that's weird. So I think that being respectful of their customs, if she's gonna be having a religious ceremony in a church and it's important to her fiance, I think that I understand how that can be stressful, but she's gonna have to chill a little bit. I also think that she might even want to look into designing her own wedding dress, because it's possible that these places just didn't have a dress that's modest, that fits her style and aesthetic. Because modest doesn't mean that it can't be fun, doesn't mean it can't be cool. I think her saying that she doesn't like looking covered up,
I feel like it's all about personal taste, though.
Mm-hmm.
If she doesn't want to be, like, covered up, that's just, like, she doesn't want that.
And I think that that's fair if she doesn't want to be covered up, but you're going to a church to get married in a religious ceremony.
Yeah, but they have their options and their choices at their weddings, regardless of where the weddings take place. So, yeah, like, I think,
She's kind of nicer than me.
No, I'm not nicer. I'm just saying, like, I just feel like if it's your special day, you might want, like, yourself, your personal style, like, to be a part of it. Like, I think
that it can be, but it could be the reception dress.
I don't know. Like, I just feel like if it's your first time, you feel like, oh, you only get married once, and it's just like, you want that moment to be, like, special and to reflect you in all of your, like, your authentic self. Like, I think, you know, it's always uncomfortable when you're in a situation where you feel like you can't be yourself.
I think that is a fair point. But I also feel like at the end of the day, she knows who she's marrying. She knows what's important to him. And she knew that he was religious before he proposed, I'm guessing. Right?
Yeah.
So she knew what she was getting herself into. And at the end of the day, like, I don't know what she means by covered up. Cause I feel like you could have a little leg, you could have a little slit. I don't know what she means by covered up, because when she says she don't like being covered up, I'm like, you trying to wear a mini skirt?
I think she mentioned Bridgerton, so I think maybe, like, I'm thinking big sleeves and, like, poofy skirt. And now, I mean, mind you, like, I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, but she
maybe
have
she's
to
like, maybe also I've seen, like, conservative bridal dresses where it's like, it's all the neckline comes all the way up to, like, the neck.
Yeah. No,
maybe
I'm saying this is a way to
like
do it.
Sweetheart, and, like, she wants her chest out.
But they have their boobies out in Bridgerton all the time. The boobs up to here.
Yeah, but we don't know what the dress looks like. I think, like, if conservative style isn't her, then I think she should be able to wear what she wants.
I think that she still has to be respectful for the place that she's getting married. Like, I think it's time and place. And if it just turns out that she doesn't want to have a ceremony at his church anymore, I think that's fine. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to be like, you should be respectful of the place that you're at. Because it's not just her who's showing up at that wedding. And it's, like, his family as well. And if he went in and told her this expectation, like, which I'm sure they've had discussions about before they decide to get married, like, she was well aware. What are the people in the comments saying?
Oh, so Liz is like, she agrees with you. Lauren was like, she said that if the church is that conservative, she may not want to get married there. I think that's, like,
and
valid.
I think that that's valid. I think that's fair.
I think that that's valid.
Like, if it's not a place that she wants to get married, that's okay, but she has to bring that up. But at the end of the day, you can't ask the church to change. You change the venue.
Lauren's got the true tea, because she said she worked as a supervisor at a bridal shop. So she said that in-laws are, like, the worst.
In-laws are.
But they try to, like, control it. They try to make it like their own wedding.
That's fair enough. I think that, like, I understand that. And I will agree. I think, like, if she wants to change the venue because she wants to wear a more scandalous wedding dress, I think that that's fine. You're allowed to do what you want, do what makes you happy. But I've seen some pretty saucy looking wedding dresses that were fully covered up. Because she could do like a little, whatchamacallit? I forget what they call it when they do, like, the nude tone paneling and you got the flowers all over you, but you cover, you're not really seeing nothing.
Lace.
I've seen some really nice, no, it's not lace, it's like, but it's like, it has, like, the paneling under it, like, that's, like, nude tone, so you're not actually seeing skin, but it looks like skin. I forget what it's called. There's like a specific name for it. Like there's ways that you can be respectful of the place that you're going to be at, and also like be yourself.
Oh, hey Liz. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys. But y'all have, if you guys have shared all you said it's called a modesty piece. Is that what it's called? I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you know what? It's the one that's under, like, when you lace up the back of the dress. That's what it was called, right? Because my friend had one of those. Because she had this gorgeous corseted dress for her wedding, like, 2 years ago. And she had, like, the modesty piece underneath it, yeah. So that you wouldn't be seeing skin. Super, super cute. And then, you know, when you have the modesty piece, you can really go tight on the waist. You can really cinch that waist.
Ooh.
Because you don't got to worry about your back holding up. Just cinch it in. But you guys, make sure you guys are also sharing the live as well. And make sure you guys are running up the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to think about it. I personally think that she was the asshole, because I don't think that there was any harm intended from her sister-in-law. Maybe her, like, I think that, like, she's upset about the situation at large, and that's something that she needs to discuss with her fiance. That's not her sister-in-law's fault. That's not her mother-in-law's fault. Like, she needs to discuss that with the fiance, because she chose that man. She chose that man, and she chose his family. Okay? So that's I do think she's the asshole. Do you guys think that she's the asshole? All right. Well, you guys let me know. Thank you so much for the shares, you guys. We're going to go on to the next story. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, you already know. Put them in the chat.
Like, run those likes up so we can do a giveaway at the end.
Yes. Okay, yeah. If we can get to 30,000 likes at the end, we will do a giveaway at the end of the thing. Oh, it looks like we got a bonnet order. Perm, perm, perm. Hello. Run it up. And you guys, I have the gorgeous, wait, what's the name of this? Is this Alyssa?
Yes.
The Alyssa satin pillowcase behind me. I'm very much vibing. I'm very comfortable, you guys. I'm very comfortable on this couch.
Okay,
Got my bonnet.
goes with your bonnet.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you know I like to match.
Ooh.
You know I love a matchy moment. You know I love a matchy moment. He said, it's not that hard. I think that she was wrong for snapping at her sister-in-law, but she needs to talk to her groom. Exactly. She needs to talk to that man that she's marrying. She needs to talk to him if she's really upset about the situation. I agree. But I do think she's an asshole for snapping at her sister-in-law, because her sister-in-law ain't do nothing. She's trying to make her feel pretty. Because, like, at the end of the day, people really enjoy most of the looks in Bridgerton. People enjoy the princess vibes, okay? That Regency era. All right? So she not a princess. That's cool. That's on her. But she don't need to be yelling at people who want to be princesses, okay? Anyways, I believe she's the asshole. All right, next one.
All right.
Next one. Uchenna says she's not. Uchenna, you're saying she's not the asshole for snapping. Is that what you're saying? Or do you think she was an asshole for snapping?
Oh, well, snapping about the Bridgerton, I think she's, like, wrong.
Yeah.
But I can see why she's upset.
Oh, I think her being upset is perfectly fine. She needs to be an adult about it and talk to people.
Ooh.
Talk to people.
Ooh.
Okay. So now we have another one. Ooh, this one's spicy, you guys. Okay. Am I the asshole for being cold to my sister's boyfriend? Scandalous. Let's see. I, 25... Oh, this is also very long, so bear with me. I, 25 female, met my sister's boyfriend for the first time when I visited my family a few weeks ago. My sister is 19 and has just started university. Her boyfriend is 17 and is still in high school and lives in our hometown.
What?
That's interesting. Okay. They have been together for 6 months, and this is my sister's first relationship.
This is so awkward already.
Contrary to everyone's expectations, she's very passionate about this boy.
This is just so weird. I think
her sister calling him a boy in the comments is hilarious.
Because that's what he is, a boy.
Yes, he is 17. Constantly post pictures of the two of them on social media and spends every minute of every day with him when she comes home from university. My family doesn't approve of him due to his unconventional style. He has a lot of piercings and tattoos, the fact that he smokes, and he is not an intellectual. Their words, not mine. I don't really know him yet, having rarely left our hometown, and his dream being opening his own tattoo and piercing shop. I think that having goals is a good thing. I don't think we should neg people for having goals, even if they are to stay at home. I do think that I'm trying not to judge the age gap because maybe they're at the same level of maturity. I don't know. Let's read on. The plan was for us all to go out to pizza or drinks. Just the four of us. My long-term partner was there as well. However, I had a long day at the point and wanted to stay in, so I suggested that we have dinner with the family and play cards after. When we got home that day, they were already there and introductions were had. I shook his hand and stared at him blankly. My sister instantly asked, why am I staring at him like that? Truth is, I was having difficulty processing the fact that she has a boyfriend. In my head, she's still my innocent 12-year-old sister. As I left the family home and moved to the UK for university at age 18. Aww. Me and her boyfriend didn't really hit it off. We just sat next to each other at dinner, barely talking. Normally, when I first meet someone, I bombard them with questions to get to know them. But I was finding it hard to talk to him at all. He didn't talk much to us either. And added difficulty was that he's not a confident English speaker, and my boyfriend is is British, so he doesn't speak our language. Okay, so
this was some UK business. They always got something funny going on.
Not they always got something funny going on over there. When dinner has finished, I was ready to play cards, in the hope that the atmosphere would brighten. But my sister's boyfriend mumbled something that they had decided to go to his place instead. I was a bit taken aback by that as we barely had gotten a chance to get to know him, and I texted my sister later on Snapchat to make her aware. She texted back saying her boyfriend felt unwelcome, and that's why they left. To which I said communication is a two-way thing, and that when someone who is not a family is invited to dinner, I'd expect the person to make some effort to get to know the members. Bearing in mind that he's only 17, I told myself that he's just a kid. I can't expect him to behave like an adult. But he's dating an adult.
So crazy. What is happening?
We didn't meet him again until me and my partner left for the UK. So I felt like we left things unresolved. And I don't know when we'll be next home, as I only visit once or twice a year. It doesn't help that my sister and I are not that close, but considering everyone in my family has rejected this boy, I want to be her ally in this. The way that she keeps calling him a boy is hilarious.
It's so shady.
She's being so shady in this post. I don't even think she knows that she's being this shady, you guys. I want to be her ally in this, but I don't know how to handle the situation. Was I the asshole? Okay. Here's my thing. I think that there's two things. When someone is in your home, you are the host, right? And I do think that part of your job as a host is to make people feel welcome and find topics of conversations that helps people open up. So if someone comes to my house, like even if I don't have a lot in common with that person, I'm going to try my best to find common ground. So I do think that her being tired and her being not like in the right mindset to meet someone did have an impact and had a negative impact. So I do think that she was kind of the asshole because she was the person welcoming that person to their home. I think that they were both assholes. I think that he was also an asshole for not trying to open up and really try to get to know her family. Because I think at the end of the day, if you're in a new space and you're making a first impression, you want to make your best first impression. I think that everyone is a bit taken aback by the fact that she's dating a boy in high school. But you know,
rightfully so,
as they should be, because I think at 19 I wasn't looking back. But you know what? Not my life. But just in regards to regardless of the age gap and the differences in interest, it seems like her family is people who might be interested in like intellectual pursuits. For her parents to call out that he was not an intellectual was very spicy. But him not being interested in intellectual pursuits is probably like a point of contention, but you can find different things to talk about. You can talk about art. You're a tattoo artist. You probably like some art. So, or anime. I don't know. Find something to talk about. Find something to get them to open up. But I do think as a host, it is your job to try and help people open up and have people feel comfortable in the environment that you create. And I think as a guest, it is his job to also like be open to that opening up. So they're both assholes in my book. Chenny, what do you think?
What do I think about? I think I've said my feelings as we've been talking about the story.
You can summarize
I think
them.
that they should just break up, and that she should mind her business.
Break up and mind your business.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's look at some of the comments from TikTok. Let's see what's going on. Jenny?
Oh. So Clea's like, she needs some wine. Yes, she needs some wine with us, you know.
It's because my glass is empty now.
Girl, I'll try to give you more, but I want you to fall asleep.
I won't fall asleep. This is interesting stuff.
So, all right. All the time we went at the store. What about me? She even said that though. The age gap is definitely a hindrance. Like Mies was saying that. Like she admitted she wasn't trying. She could have said that to her. That's so true. Well, my husband was 19 and I was 30 when we started dating. I don't have an issue with that.
I think it's like
an issue with dating a high school junior.
Yeah, I think it's like he's in high school. It's like the weird
thing. Yeah, yeah, they can't do nothing for you. And then
Kim says he's not bringing anything to the table.
At least she loves that pillowcase. Thank you so much, our designer. I love the colors.
So
they're
pretty.
So cute. And see how they match Shon's head wrap? Like how
my bonnet?
That? I mean, yeah, her bonnet. Well, you know.
It is bonnets and
people
bonnets.
People are running around calling bonnets head wraps these days.
You know what? We're not gonna talk about that.
You're not gonna talk about it?
We're not gonna talk.
You look nice though.
Thanks, girl.
Someone said, Dawn said you came to see my brother. You said, where's our brother and cousin? They're with their respective partners. I hope so.
Yeah, they're
don't
hanging out
get my
with their
brother in
girlfriends.
trouble, child.
They're hanging out with their girlfriends, y'all. You got me.
All right. The age isn't the problem. There are different times of life. Listen, I don't have nothing for no high school boy. So I don't know, but even at 19, I mean, I was definitely interested in people who are older.
I agree. But, I think, like, they're only 2 years apart. So, I don't know, maybe she's just, like, maybe more immature or whatever. I think that all the extra context that she gave us was to kind of bring us on her side. Because also, if you think about it, he's 17, she's 25. Like, that's even just, like...
What?
She knows the sister who's talking about being cold to him, she's 25. So, like, that's even just, like, showing, like, that they just have...
awkward. That's, like, a huge age gap.
It's a huge age gap for her to, like, try and, like, talk to him and, like, get to know him. So, I understand it. But I do still think, like, as a host, you should be trying your best to make your guests feel comfortable and welcome. So, I do think that she was the asshole. I think that she's got to work on her hosting skills. I understand being tired. But I think at the end of the day, usually, like, a hosting situation, it's like an hour or two. You can pep it up for an hour and make it happen. But yeah, I do think that different times in life definitely is part of the reason why they weren't able to get along. But, so my vote is that she was an asshole. He was also an asshole. She was a bad host, and he was a bad guest. And that's how I feel. And whether or not her sister should be dating this man... I personally wouldn't be doing it, but if they've got some kindred spirit, let them do what they do. They're both consenting adults, I guess. Thank you for the heart me. Thank you, babe. Okay. So now we're going to go on to the next story. I think everyone's an asshole. Chen, am I just too harsh?
Oh, you already know my answer to that question.
Yes. Okay, let's go on to the next one. And this one is, am I the asshole for being totally unfair to my mom's husband's family by not showing up for a family meal? Let's find out.
Yeah, you have to elaborate, because what is this about?
My 61 female, she said 16 female, but I think it meant 61. My 61 female mom has been married to her husband for 7 years. My dad has been out of my life for almost as many years. Okay. But even before my mom and Ted, she put Ted in quotations. Okay, this is getting real spicy. Ted got married. Ted got married. He wasn't a big part of my life. Okay, so she put Ted in quotations. I don't think she liked Ted. But, looks like them and their dad are separated. You see, my dad is mentally ill. There's a family history of it on his side of the family. He's got it bad and isn't capable of being a good dad or really a reliable person. Okay. Last I remember him, he couldn't really take care of himself. But, and this is a big thing, I still love him and I have some good memories of him. I think that as a child, you're always going to want to have good memories of your parents. And that definitely having that mental illness in the family is difficult to deal with. Okay. So, now we're talking about Ted. Ted, as a stepfather, I call him my mom's husband, deserves a better or not good depending on your view overall. I'm not sure what that sentences make sense. He provides for me, calls me his daughter, tries to spend time with me, offered to adopt me, and provide for me well into the future. Okay. I said no to the adoption and didn't really let the incentive of being provided for in long term sway me. Okay. My reason for this was due to how often he talks shit about my dad. Okay, fair enough. My mom lets him, so I have issues with her too. But focus of my post is more about Ted and his extended family. I think that's like a big no-no. Ted is giving me red flags now. Ted is giving me red flags, and I don't like that. I don't like that. Ted is always so fast to remind me that my dad chose illness over me. What?
What does that even mean?
What does that mean? That he has never paid child support and has a lot of child support debt in his name. He don't got a job. Like, he don't got no money. He discouraged me looking at photos of my dad or his side of the family and would tell me that he was a better choice for my dad and that his family were a better family. Ted is messed up. Ted is messed up. What? Ted's family also repeat this to me a lot. I get reminded every time I see them that Ted stuck around. Ted stepped up. Ted isn't some crazy waste of life. What? Which is what they call my dad.
I mean, your dad doesn't pay child support, so that's...
Well, he's also mentally ill. Like, I don't think he has a job. Like,
I didn't hear that part. Sorry.
Ted is mentally, not Ted is mentally ill. Her biological dad is mentally ill.
Well, Ted is also mentally ill because he's comparing himself to someone who has something going on.
No, this is actually so crazy. Like, Ted's family just seems really crazy. Last year, it was clear that I inherited the mental illness gene. Oh, okay. Wow, my mental illness is OCD. I got really bad because of it. A part of me always knew I was different. I had strict rules for stuff most people didn't think twice about, like making my bed, writing, bathing, showering. I also freaked out a lot if I couldn't make things fit okay in my school binder or books, video games on my shelf. My mom and Ted saw it too, but my mom didn't want to believe I could be ill, and Ted believed his influence could prevent it. A crisis at the start of the year proved it all wrong, and I got diagnosed. I spent some time doing inpatient because of how bad it got. When I got home, Ted was alone with me, or me with half my siblings, me and my half-siblings, and I'd hear the family talk about me in ways that made me so uncomfortable. They said rejecting him made me sick because it pushed me towards my dad more than Ted. I don't like Ted. I don't like Ted at all. Ted's parents wanted to have a big family dinner yesterday, and I was told repeatedly they wanted me to be there. By them directly and Ted and my mom, I chose not to go, and it said that I could not get off my planner right now, which is true. But I just knew I couldn't be around them. My mom and Ted weren't happy, and they said I had no trouble going off my planner to see my grandparents, my mom's parents, and my 3 uncles and cousins. They told me I was being totally unfair to Ted's family by not showing up and treating them like they were not family. Am I the asshole? Now, this has a lot of layers. I think that, like, I can see a lot of rejection in this story where the person who's writing feels rejected by Ted, and his family by how they talked about, and his family by how they talked about their father. I can see, like, that them developing a mental illness, all those things that they were saying about the father are now applied to them as well, right? Because if they're saying that if this person has the same type of mental challenges that their father has, like, if they were saying all these crazy things about their dad, like, they're possibly saying the same things about them. So I think going into that kind of toxic environment, who would want to do that?
Who would want to do that?
Who would want to do that? So I don't think they're the asshole for not going. I think that, but I do think that they should have been more direct with why they're not going. Because they were like, oh, I can't go over my planet, get off my planet right now. And no, the answer is, you guys are mean. Y'all are mean. Y'all are mean to me. Y'all are mean to my dad. And I don't like it. So I don't think they're the asshole for not going. But I do think that they need to have a real talking to with Ted and his family. Because you can't be talking out of pocket about my dad like that. That's not cool. That's not cool. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Your stepdad isn't entitled to adopting you just because they raised you. That's true. Like, I think that my thing was, like, with Ted, I feel like what Ted didn't understand is that I feel like Ted, granted, I only know the 4 paragraphs that I read, but it seems to me like Ted thought that by creating a wedge between this daughter and father, he'd be able to wedge himself in there and be the father to this girl. And what he ended up doing by creating that wedge was making her know that she wasn't safe with him. Because at the end of the day, because she said, oh, I've always known I was different. So if you're someone who's growing up always knowing you were different, and this person is talking about someone who has potentially the same type of mental challenges that you do, that negatively, of course you're going to be like, what the hey? You're not going to want to be around that person. You're not going to want to be adopted by them. You don't want to be part of their family. So Ted really messed up. And I think that Ted owes them an apology for speaking about her father that way. That's not okay. I don't like it. Ted was trying to force a bond. Major red flags. Feel that too. Mm-hmm. Why isn't the mom stepping in to check Ted? I think that the mom is actually quite upset with the father. And I think that because it seems like, because, like, if you're not stopping it and stuff, or either that, or maybe she's afraid of being alone. She's afraid of being alone without Ted. But if they've been, because it seems like as soon as Ted stepped into the picture, the mom decided that she was just throwing that whole father side of the family away. So I don't know. He said, too many women choose their partners over their kids. I agree. It is so sad. He said, what is the new product? Don, I think the live is just titled, Bonnets and satin pillowcases. Bonnets and bottles. If we've been drinking, we're wearing our bonnets, and we're reading Am I the Assholes? But we have our satin pillowcases and our bonnets available on our site. You can get 20% off with the code BB20, bonnet bottle 20, BB20. But yeah. So I don't think that the person who's writing is the asshole. I think they could have been more direct about why they weren't going. I think that, like, when you reach a certain age of adulthood, you just have to have clear communication with people. And they could have just been like, hey, like, I'm not going because Ted's been talking shit about my dad for 7 years. I've shown that I have, like, the same challenges that my dad has. And so I know that y'all talking shit about me behind my back. Why would I want to go there? So there we go. Thanks, Dawn. We are having fun. You said it's not even about the dad anymore. It's about hurting the child. Yeah. No, like, I feel like this child has clearly been hurt and traumatized by those conversations, by those negative conversations about their father that they've been having for years. And also just, like, feeling unprotected. Because, like, the mom wasn't standing up for the dad. I wasn't saying, like, hey, you shouldn't say that. Like, you shouldn't say that. And then also, like, to, like, blame something that's, like, legitimately a mental illness that you cannot control on, like, oh, you didn't get close enough to me. Excuse me? Anyways, I think it's OP, or the author is the writer. I definitely think Ted is an asshole, and Ted needs to check himself before he wrecks himself, because Ted and I could not be friends. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But you are not the asshole. Definitely Ted is the asshole. Okay. Let me know if you guys agree. But I feel like you guys do agree with me that Ted is the asshole. All right, let's do the next one. Okay. Yeah, they call it, okay, it is OP. That's what I thought. Yeah. No, I've been listening to so many of them. Okay. This one is, am I the asshole for losing my marbles at my neighbor for parking across my driveway? My answer is going to be no, because it's your driveway. But let's see. Let's read the whole story. So, I live next door to a business, and the workers keep parking across my driveway, even though it is illegal. It is illegal. Okay. Once someone was parked across my driveway for 3 hours, and another time, I was late for surgery because I couldn't get out of my house. The workers keep making noise at 4:30 a.m. and midnight, even though they have noise restrictions between 5 p.m. and 7 a.m. Today, when I got home, I noticed someone who has done this before was parked across my driveway, so I simply parked right behind them and walked inside. About half an hour later, they came back in their car where they parked, and they didn't like it. Where they were parked in, and they didn't like it. I completely lost it at them, and they told me I was a mean person and the nastiest homeowner on the street. I proceeded to call the police and formally complain to their CEO. Is this a normal reaction? To note, I have been calling the local council, police, and complaining to the organization for years. I can't afford litigation. The reason the police finally came out this time is because the parker made a threat that they would come back and do something.
Wait, what?
At least it's on the record now, and not in the U.S., so I can't have... Oh, I'm not in the U.S., so I can't have their car towed. This needs to be ordered by the police, and they are resident to do that. Okay. This is... Okay. I do not think the OP is the asshole. Did they react in an outsized way? Yes. But why doesn't this business have its own park thing? And if people are not allowed to, if it's actually illegal for these people to park in front of this person's, in front of their driveway and to block them in, it's illegal for these people to park in front of their driveway and lock them in. I think that, like, them saying that they were the meanest homeowner on the block is kind of hilarious, but I'm guessing, like, they're the person who complains the most, but it seems like the business becomes particularly inconvenient to them because they're right next door. So they have to deal with the noise, and they have to deal with all these other things. I think that, like, they should file, like, a formal complaint, which looks like they already have, with the business owner. And I think that they should start, like, getting some fines or something. I know they said they can't afford legal counsel, but it might be worth the, like, 300 pounds. I feel like this is a UK-ass story. It might be worth the 300 pounds to, like, have a lawyer draft up a document and be like, you need to pay me for any inconvenience type of stuff. You said, what is happening? You said Ted is definitely the a-hole. Yes, facts. Kyra, we're doing bonnets and bottles. I had on my bottle already though. But we're reading stories from Am I the Asshole thread on Reddit, and we're doing we're deciding who's the asshole. I've actually thought everyone was an asshole except for the last two. Because I do feel like if this business is really making it inconvenient for you to, like, even leave your home and be able to do your things that you need to do, yeah, definitely the asshole for sure. Find a scary story. I want to get spooked. I don't do scary stories. I love you so much. I do not do scary stories. Do that on your own time, girly. I'm trying to sleep. I need my sleep, and I like to sleep, so I'm gonna sleep. Love you though, baby. Oh my God, Mariah. Thank you guys. Hey Aura, how you doing? We are judging people. It's true. Yes, we are. Okay, so I don't think the homeowner, the OP, is the asshole in this situation, because especially if they've been complaining about it consistently, like, it's really nothing for the CEO to just, like, tell people not to park in front of that person's house. Like, that's a memo. Like, it's a memo. Don't park here. Park somewhere else. But let me know what you guys think. Chenny, what do you think?
I stand with the original poster.
Yeah, the original poster. Chenny also thinks that the original poster is not the asshole. Like, definitely the business. Definitely the business, babe. Definitely the business. Not sorry to bother. No, I love you, Mariah. I think you're fabulous. Not a bother at all. I'm just not trying to go to bed scared. I need to sleep. Like, I don't do scary stories. You said, nah. NTA, her property, they need to be a business and handle it. Exactly. I came in and heard police, lol. Doing my daughter's hair, so I'm gonna be in and out. No worries, baby. Hey, we're having a good time. We're doing Am I the Asshole stories from Reddit, and we're judging. But also, I think it's funny that they titled it Neighbors because, like, I guess the business is technically their neighbor, but the business needs to step up and get some parking. Figure it out. Okay, so now we have our next one. This one's a short one. But this one is an interesting one. I think this is an interesting one. Let's see. Am I the asshole because I don't want a friend to bring a guy into my apartment? Okay. A friend of mine asked me if she could stay at my place because she was coming in town for a big party. Unfortunately, I was away at the time, but I told her that it wasn't a problem for me and that she was welcome to stay at my place. However, I also told her that the offer was really only for her and that I wouldn't like it if she picked up a guy and brought him to my place. I think it's very fair. Your house, your rules. Of course, there's a reason for this because I've known her for a long time and I know that she likes one night stands. Okay. That's completely fine with me. I just don't want that to happen in my apartment and on my bed. That may be prudish, but that's the way it is. Anyways, she's now upset and claims that she would never have done something like that anyway, and that it was rude of me to suggest such a thing. Clearly this friend don't know herself. She's hilarious. She has now found another place to sleep. I think it's okay to talk about what I don't want in my apartment beforehand. She now interprets it as if I think badly of her. Am I the asshole? This is hilarious. I think that this is a case of this friend don't know who she is. Or it could be like maybe this friend exaggerates her exploits. And so to this friend is like thinking like you be doing whatever you be doing when you be doing it. And I don't want to be a part of that. But I do not think it is you are the asshole for setting a boundary about what you want to happen in the space that you pay for. Call me prudish, but I think if you say I don't want no guys in my house, I think that that's a very fair and valid thing to say. I think that if that friend feels like, oh, it's not cool that she said that to me, I think it's like, I think that like where people get into a lot of misunderstandings is when you don't vocalize boundaries. Because now the girl who wanted to stay at the friend who wanted to stay at her house would be the asshole if she brought a guy home. And this girl would, for yelling at her and not saying like, hey, that's not something I want you to be able to do, it could just create a whole misunderstanding. What do you think, Chenny?
I'm cool with boundaries.
See? Good boundaries. Boundaries. We love them. We love them here. Let's see what our fam thinks. What are the people thinking? Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go in here. Okay, you guys. Let's see. I feel like you guys are moving so far and so fast. Okay. He said, I love the stories, but yes, I do be judging. Tasha, I'm judgmental too. Listen, I got my bonnet, I got my satin pillowcase, I got my wine. I'm good. I'm here to judge. Not Seychelles getting discontinued would be scary for Mariah. Jamie, why you got a jump scare? Put in an earbud so you can judge with us. I love it. Oh my God. You guys are so funny. Using lavender vanilla body butter in her hair. Aw, that is so cute. I know your daughter will be smelling good every day. I'm sure the teachers would be like, she smells really great. I'm pretty sure Mariah will find you. No, oh my God, I'm done. Okay, let's see. Nope, absolutely none. Not at all. Yup, absolutely not the asshole. I agree. Nope, it's her place, her rules. The friend don't like it. Oh well, exactly. But I think so. It seems like the friend wasn't upset at the rule. The friend seemed to be upset at the fact that the rule was vocalized. But I think that the friend needs to grow up. She's got to grow up. And sometimes things might be a blow to the ego. It might be a blow to the ego when you hear how other people interpret your lifestyle. But she might also want to do some inner work. Be like, oh, why did my friend feel like she needed to tell me this? Why did she feel like she needed to tell me this? Thank you for the likes, y'all. So yeah, I don't think the friend was an asshole for telling her that she needed to not bring any guys to her house. Her place, her rules, per. Every time you said, not the asshole, friend didn't like being called out on what she was gonna do. I do think that she knew what she was trying to get on and poppin'. Because I also think it was the fact that she was coming for a big party. Because I don't know what the party was. It could be a wedding, it could be a birthday party, whatever. But I think if she was going there for a work conference, I doubt that the friend would have even made that boundary for her. Being like, oh, of course you can stay over at my house. You're going to a work conference. But you're coming here for a party. Come on. We both knew what she was going to do. If you can follow Airbnb rules, you can respect boundaries. Facts. If you can, I love that. Was being nice and warning her. I'm done. Your house is your home house is your sanctuary. Facts. Exactly. I definitely think that I don't think the OP was the asshole. Not the asshole. I can see why the friend might have been taken aback, but I do think that the friend should have maybe taken some time to reassess instead of getting upset. And I also think it's okay for people to set boundaries. It's life. You gotta have your boundaries. Okay. Now, we have our next one. We're doing this live for about an hour, so we've got 15 minutes left. So I think we have time for one or two more stories. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and pop them in the chat. But we're going to get back to judging. Are these people the asshole? Okay. Am I the asshole for kicking my mom out of my wedding after showing up uninvited? Yikes. Okay. I, 26 female, have been estranged from my mom for almost 3 years. I cut contact with her after finding out she sold $10,000 for me and put me in over $50,000 of debt by stealing my social security number. Wow. Okay, girl. Mom was having a party. Okay. All right. I can see why the contact was cut. I can see what happened there. She has always been very emotionally abusive and has tried everything in her power to split up my husband, 27 male, and I before we got married. What the? Okay. Dang. And before we, you said for these reasons and more, I decided not to invite her to my destination wedding. It's so hilarious. Because of this destination wedding, the first question that came to mind for me is, did mama scam to be able to go to this wedding?
So crazy.
Because mama clearly been scamming. Last week was the big day, and about an hour before the ceremony, my maid of honor let me know that my mom had shown up uninvited. Meaning she flew across the country to knowingly crash my wedding. I had my maid of honor bring her to the bridal suite. Then I spoke with her privately and told her if she doesn't leave, I will make a scene and embarrass her in front of her entire family. She cried and gaslit me, but inevitably left. After the ceremony, several family members confronted me about it and told me that I am wrong and that I should have just let her stay because she just wants to see her first daughter get married. I know this wasn't the reason and that it was just a power move to reinsert herself into my life. Her side of the family has been blowing up my phone since, telling me that I am wrong and that my husband and I need to apologize. Am I the asshole? So here's the thing. She wasn't invited to the party. She knew that she wasn't invited to the wedding, and I'm pretty sure she was purposely let off the guest list. So I don't think that the OP is the asshole for this. I think that the history there has to be honored, and that if they had decided to no longer have a relationship, if she had decided to no longer have a relationship, her mother should have respected that. I also think that, I'm also wondering if the family members know what the mom did to her, because I feel like it's kind of, because $60K is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And yeah, I would have been upset. And then also the fact that the mom was not supportive of the relationship, but then is trying to be part of the wedding ceremony. Like, it's your wedding day. You want to have positive vibes around. So I do not think that the OP was the asshole at all. The mom shouldn't have shown up. I'm pretty sure she scammed to get there, because mama a scammer. And yeah, I don't think she was the asshole for kicking her out. In fact, she was way nicer about kicking her out than I would have been, because she was just like, oh, like, let me bring you to the bridal suite. Let me talk to you face to face and not embarrass you in front of your family and friends. Chenny, what do you think? Is the OP the asshole or not?
She's an asshole.
Huh?
So weird.
You said what?
Both parties are weird.
You said both parties are weird? Why? Okay. Chen doesn't like anybody. Okay. Fair enough. Not mama want to fight. You said, I think you need a refill. I think so too. I think so too. I agree. Chenny says she'll fall asleep. Probably. Mama trying to catch hands like a football player. Jamie. No. And you said I have family in Chandler. What is this? No, my opinion is you have to love folks from a distance, even if they're family. I agree. 60K is a lot of people's salary. Yeah. Not the asshole. Not invited. Don't come. End of story. Like, it's really that simple. That's more than I make in a year and a half. See, she really took all that money. So Lamo is giving Gemini Chenny. Chenny's not a Gemini, but she said she don't like anybody. She said, child, they both a mess. Chenny said she don't want none. Don't want none. Don't get married. But I think that, like, I think for me, even more so than the taking of the money, I think I wouldn't want to have someone at my wedding who didn't want me to be with the person that I was marrying. So, like, that also feels like, I feel like that's also a reason why I wouldn't want that person there if they had purposefully and intentionally tried to break up with them for, like, 3 years after, like, they know that you've, like, chosen that person. So, but also, how are you not going to speak to someone for 3 years and then just pop up at the wedding? Uninvited? Nah, I heard her. But that one's pretty spicy. So let me see how much time we have left. We have 7 minutes left, so I think we have time for one more. This one might be weird. I don't know how I feel about this one. Well, let's read the title. Am I the asshole for volunteering to help with my stepsisters for the wrong reasons? My dad got married 6 years ago. His wife's 2 daughters were 2 and 3 then. Their bio dad was out of the picture. My mom died 14 months before my dad got married. My parents had a ONS and weren't ever a couple. I don't know what that means. To clarify some things, I, 16 male, don't feel a bond with my stepsisters. Okay. I do sometimes spend time with them, but that's more because they want it. I never want to hang out with them, and I don't enjoy it. I mean, there's a huge age gap. It's like 14 years, okay? But I know my dad wants me to be a good brother to them. He encourages me to spend time with them as much as I can, and he'll always call them my sisters and looks disappointed that I only say stepsisters. But yeah, I don't really feel any closer to them now than I did 6 years ago. It's not that I dislike them either, though. I know for them it's really different because they were so much younger. And even if they had doubt because of that, they call me their brother. So like just their brother, and each say they have a brother and a sister. That's sweet that they love him so much, though. Sometimes my dad or his wife won't be able to do something for one or both girls. Go to the park, walk to a friend's house, take them to grab something at the store, and I volunteer for it because I always get paid for doing it. It's one of the ways it's one way to make everyone happy. I'm spending more time with the girls, which my dad and the girls like. I get something out of it, which I like. My dad only recently figured out that I do not do it out of the love for the girls, and wants to spend more time with them. He's disappointed in me now that I was volunteering for the wrong reasons. He said it's hurtful and it's going to really hurt them in a couple of years when they realize I don't reciprocate their love. He said that it hurts him to know that hurts him to know that 6 years of being siblings has meant nothing to me. He pointed out that they were so little when they became my sisters. He doesn't understand how I don't feel protective or caring for them by now. Dad figured it out because he joined some of my therapy sessions. Yes, I have a therapist, and pieced stuff together based on what I was saying. My dad keeps bringing it up and reminding me of how disappointed he is. Am I the asshole? So this is the thing. I don't think that the OP is being an asshole. Like, you can't help how you feel. Like, they might not feel love. Oh, TikTok spontaneously quit, Jenny. That was so weird. Yeah, I just spontaneously just quit. I didn't even run out of battery or nothing. IG is on. We're chilling. Sorry, I don't know why it just spontaneously quit. I think that yeah, I don't think that the OP is being an asshole if they don't feel love for these girls. Like, I don't think you can force yourself to love anybody. Like, so if they don't feel love, there are people who are actual blood relatives and they don't love each other. They don't like each other. They just kind of be out there out of convenience. And I also think that if they were doing all these things that helped make family life easier to like kind of like keep the peace in the family, like, I don't think that they were being an asshole. Like, everybody got what they wanted. They just didn't do it out of love. They did it out of like obligation and because they knew that their dad would be happy if they did it. I don't know. If anything, they did it out of love for their father. So, I don't know. Now she may give us a present. Oh, it just did it again. I don't know. I think maybe the app is messed up on your phone. It keeps spontaneously cutting out. Recommend family counseling sessions. I think that I don't know, because like I was like, is it wrong for them to just not love their siblings, like their step siblings? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you can force love and force those feelings. Not the asshole. Children are not obligated to love their step siblings. You choose them, not your kids. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't think that they're the asshole. I just think it's like, I think the dad is disappointed that he thought that that his son was doing these things out of love, but it was like, oh, like, you give me money, so I'll take the money. I want the money. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they were the asshole, but I don't think you can force yourself to love anybody. Chenny, what do you think? You said I'm an asshole? Chenny says that they are the asshole for not loving their siblings. Okay. Fair enough. Blended families are hard. Parents want it to work, but it doesn't mean that it will. Fair enough. Fair enough. Chenny said that these people are all a mess. Yes. Yes. Huh? Essentially, they're all a mess. Well, that was our last story of the night. I hope you guys enjoyed Bonnets and Bottles tonight. We'll be doing another one next Sunday, and I'll make sure to do an RCP so that you guys can link up. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you guys so much for joining. Bye, IG fam.